guys, ILene Vick here for Teaching About Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Monday, August 30th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am live. Hello, hello, hello. I will be broadcasting for 3 hours as normal. Hope you can come in and join us. Welcome to my groups, peeps that chat. Welcome to my lurkers that just watch. Either way is fine. And welcome to my YouTube peeps who watch this on YouTube. And also on Facebook. This goes to video on Facebook, so you can catch it there as well. All right. No announcements to make, other than the fact, woohoo, I got happy mail. I got happy mail. I got happy mail. Do me a favor when you come in is just say hi so I know I can see comments. Sometimes Facebook gets kind of weird. Hello, Mary. I hope the world is treating everybody well today. So I got happy mail today, and I want to show you what I got. I think this will be lots of fun. This one I purchased myself. It's called Fashion Coloring Book for Girls. And let's see, 8:30, 21 from ILene. Now, I got to looking at some of the pieces that were in here. Hello, Stephanie. And it's giving me some ideas for coloring. Oh, let me get this open. Good grief. All right, we'll get that spine. There we go. It is absolutely pouring here in Cookeville. So these are some neat little fashion colorings. And you know me, I like to take the simple and make something out of it. Just nice little drawings here. And I thought you guys would enjoy this, so that's why I got it as well. Oh, let me get that spine here. There we go. Isn't that cute? Just cute as a button. And remember, guys, it's what you make out of your pieces. Hey, Christy, welcome. Look at this. Isn't that a sweetheart? And again, guys, when you see images like this, you should be seeing possibilities But even if you don't, you know, when I color it, now this is the cover. Hello, Sarah. Just cute little images here. We could add more balloons if we like, lots of background ideas. Oh, that's cute. And you know by now that I like to take nothing and make something out of it. So tell me, is it pouring like crazy where you guys are living? Oh, look how cute this is. Isn't that just ridiculously cute? Got a little songbirds in here. Too cute. And I love how these flowers are very lightly drawn. So we can do some really neat things with this. All right. I don't know if you can hear the rain in the background, but it is just going at it. It started probably about half hour ago. Let me put it this way, I'm glad to be inside. So here's another cutie. And what I want you to see is look how easy it is to put something in the background. So we can play with that, definitely. So Christy says flooding 50 miles away, and we have had very little rain since June, so dry here. Yeah, that's probably why it's drying, because the ground's so hard, or flooding. Okay. So that's the book, 30 fashion designs, fashion book coloring, 4 girls. Cute. Okay, next book that we got in. This one was gifted, and I am pulling a complete blank. There was no card with it. So if you sent me this book, refresh my memory, please. Now, this is from Jane Maday, and she is really, really good at instruction and showing how to do things. So what she does is the beginning of it talks about the shading, water-soluble colored pencils, just different tools and materials. So these are really neat pictures. So I'm going to be relatively prompt. Hi, Rita! Rita from Guatemala. Oh, happy day! Yeah. Beautiful pictures from Jane Maday. This will be fun to do with the combs. We can do lots of depth on that. And just a nice simple little wreath here. Bunnies! And actually I'm going to be using one of these to show you how to do fur without the slice knife. Just pencil. I've got to add these books to the affiliate list. So if you're interested in getting any of the books, contact me directly. Until I pop these on the list. Look at that. Isn't that cute? I love the seaside. Hello, Rhonda. Ride your bike. So we can have some fun with this. Little nest here in the holder. Wind catcher, yeah. Hello, Sandy. Definitely a recommended book, guys. Apples. We've done apples. The Well. Love it, love it, love it. And this will be fun to do as well. Rhonda says this is so much more fun than laundry. Well, gee, Rhonda, thank you. I'll take that as a backhanded compliment. Oh, guys, just delightful images here. So I'm just doing this little quick page through here so you can see. Oh man, you know my little bumblebees that I got? My wooden ones? There we go. Come to the garden. Beautiful picture. See, this stuff drives me nuts because I see all sorts of possibilities. How cute, the birds on the boot. This will be a good one for me to show you fur. Actually, that one with the 2 rabbits will be better, but again, I'm just going to show you how to do fur just in colored pencil. Too stinking cute. Look, little ducks. Little ducklings. So I wanted to show you this, and I hope it lifts your spirits up. Just pretty, pretty stuff. Here's a nice little potted plant with the bird sitting on it. Let's see what we got here. Hanging basket with the flowers that are coming out of it. Oh, look at this. The hanging hearts with the bows. Yeah. Yep, yep, yep. Love it. And here's our boots again. And like I said, I haven't had a chance to add it to affiliate yet, and I will definitely do that. I appreciate you guys buying through affiliate. It helps me buy supplies. So if you like it, give me a thumbs up or hearts or something like that. Look at this octopus. Cute. Oh, nope, in the bottle. Some little shells here. The variety in this book is absolutely wonderful, guys. The sea turtles. Oh, and I meant to tell you, the paper, can you hear that? It's pretty hefty. Very, very nice quality book. It's always time for tea. Cute. And then our color swatch page. Look. The chickens with the eggs. She's got a good sense of humor. Okay, and then there's the about the author here. So there you go. It's called Nature's Sweet Moments. And if you sent me this book, refresh my memory that you did, and I'll be more than happy to mention that. Okay. One more happy mail to show you real quick, and then we'll get coloring. This is the coloring book for girls, Fashions. Now, this has 300 pictures in it. I am not going to go through all 300 pictures. So what I'm going to do, 300 coloring designs and patterns to color. And obviously I've got more in mind for these images. So I'm just going to show you a really quick flip through. Oh, little puppy. Just super cute images, guys. And what I would do is, if you want to see the details in this book, just go ahead and go to YouTube and look at the flip through of that. Oh, that's cute. And you can make these when you're coloring them as complex. I'm sorry, what's the paper quilts? I don't understand what that means. Fly to happiness. Summer. Look at this one. Isn't that cute? We've got the hearts going on here. We can definitely expand on that theme. There's a good one. Now, Rita, I know that you mentioned that you were wanting to color skin. This would be a good one for you to get. Paper quality is, it's okay. You can see, though, the image from the back here. So it is relatively thin. So I would suggest that you make a copy. And if you can't copy it, just put something underneath it or tear it out and put something underneath it. We could really do something with this here. Oh, cute. Oh, those two look alike. Okay, they're different, kinda. So all sorts of image to play with. This could be done beautifully and really gusset up. Oh, Angela, hello. She says, hi from the hospital. Waiting for Alan to come to get me, but sore in the chest. But I'm okay. Oh, glad to see you, Angela. Now, look at this one. There's lots of ways to add black to your images. Angela, sounds like you've had an exhausting day. So I just wanted to give you an idea of what this one, oh, look at this. The lighter flowers here on top of the dress. Yeah, cutie book. And again, guys, the challenge to you would be to take something like this and make something out of it. Oh, look at that one. That one's cute. So we've got a little puppy dog down here, and on here we've got a putty tat. So lots of fun with this one, lots of variety, different sizes of images. I love it. I thought this would be cute to show you. Yeah, they kept waking you up to check your blood pressure. I hear ya. Well, I'm glad you're letting us know that you're okay. There's another cute one to do. There you go. So this is called Coloring Book for Girls Fashion. Let me just put a quick date in there so I know when we got it. I purchased it for the group. So now we've got this. Okay. So you guys know I'll make something out of it for you, and we'll have fun. All right, let's get into our coloring. Angela's telling us that she's getting home from the hospital. That's great. Excellent, excellent news. Okay, so I've been working on various images here. You know I like to change it up. Angela Campbell, this is the one you picked up for us, right? The Nature Sweet Moments. Hello, Wanda. So Angela, is this the one of the ones that you sent? Yes, one of. Okay. That's what I thought. Super, super, super. So 8:30:21 from Angela Campbell. Yep, got it and did a page through. Angela, thank you so much. Alrighty. Hello, Pearly. Wanda survived the storm, didn't even lose power. We are getting dumped on with rain at the moment, but this too shall pass. Praise God that everybody was safe, that Wanda was safe. Praise God that Angela is getting out of the hospital. God is good. God is good. Pearly, pearly, pearly. Alright. So I wanted to show you this real quick too. This is from Hello Autumn. This is the one that I put the paper in the back. I cut out all of this and put the pattern paper in back, and now I'm going through and starting to color it. So I'm doing this one off camera. Now, when you do siding, I want you to consider doing blue. It works beautifully. So this is a grayish blue. And zoom in. Zoom in. I added the shutters on here. Isn't that cool? And I also added these little loop things on the roof. So I'm working on doing that as well. I'm going to be making tiles out of them. Zoom out. And guys, I can't tell you enough. We've got to do the, you know, this is these extras that I love to show you. And it's turning into a drop-dead gorgeous piece. Okay. So I worked on the pirate quite a bit yesterday, so I'm going to put him to the side for a while. And I've got my leopard and my princess riding the fish. Anybody have any preferences of what you'd like me to do tonight? This is from Hanna Karlzon. And specifically, this is from Spirit Animals. Wanda's saying tiger. Okay. We can do that. We'll get her all done. All of them. Okay. Rhonda wants the tiger. Okay, I'm doing the tiger. Alright. Now, I went through. I'm working on the light orange here. I'm in talking, and Wanda noticed this too, is he's got two legs that are partially in the water. So we've got these front legs, so I made them a little lighter. Zoom in. And I want to remind you that I went ahead and printed out a picture from Google on my printer. And I want you to notice that the features here are the white above the eyes, the white on the jowls, and we've got the white below the nose and on the chin. So that's what's making this image look really cool. And I can't stress this enough, guys. Take advantage of getting pictures. Now, this orange by no means is my orange that I'm going to end up with, because I'm going to have a pretty intense tiger on here, and that's what I want, because I want it breaking out from the plant. Alright. Yeah, every once in a while. Alright. Anybody have any questions or comments so far? I'm having a ball doing this for you. Zoom in. So of all things, I'm going to be using a metallic grass green, and this is a shuttle art pencil. Now, I'm not using the metallic for the metallic attribute of it. I'm using this because I really like this particular green. Excuse me. Zoom in. Zoom in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make it a point to frame the greenery around my tiger. Now, I don't want you to be afraid to use metallics like this. Remember, it's the ultimate look on the paper that you want. And this metallic actually gives a really nice soft look and feel to this. Angela says she's sleepy now. Catch y'all later. Thank you, Angela. Love you, sweetie, and thanks again for the book. You've really been a blessing to the group. Now, another neat thing about this, using a metallic like this, so I've got my flat and my metallic. And that in itself gives a really interesting look. And that's what I wanted to show you. That if you use a flat and a metallic together, it's going to give you a really neat effect. So see, I've got my flat on top and my metallic on the bottom. And don't forget, per normal, to go ahead and turn your pencil. Oh, how pretty. Zoom out. The biggest benefit that you can do for yourself when you're coloring is not lock yourself into a box by saying, oh, metallic just on metals. No. You can use this on other parts or other things to give you that look that you want. Okay. Now this page is a little, I don't want to say wonky, it's different. And we've got to look at the different aspects here. This isn't exactly fur right here. So the question is, how much green do we want to put on this? And the answer is, I'm going to go ahead and put a mix of greens and browns. And that's going to address both aspects of the tiger that I want and the plant. Wanda wants me to make it look like fur. Okay, so I've got a Brett, what do I have? Yeah, this is a Brett Funner Raw Sienna. And I'm going to start my coloring out here from my base. Zoom in. Zoom in. Oops, it's going to go twice, sorry. Well, that got us nice and close, didn't it? Zoom out. And then we're going to go ahead and do that on the other side. All right. And now what I'm just going to do is just balance this on either side. Zoom out. Oh, isn't that beautiful? And then I'll come in with my orange, which is also called a radiant yellow. And I'm back blending that into my brown and bringing it out to the lining here. How pretty is that? Okay. Now you'll notice that this orange is different than my other orange, and again, this orange on my cat, I'm going to be working my magic with it and putting in my shading and my tints. And here are again, notice my blending. And it's very, very hard to go wrong with brown and orange. Isn't that beautiful? Hi, Terry. Okay, everybody's seen how we're starting to get that really big pop now. And now what I'm going to do is we've got this fur on the outside, and I'm going to go back with my browns. Zoom in. And I'm going to highlight the tips of the outside of this fur. Now notice that I am pulling this brown into the length of my fur tip, but I'm not going in all the way because I don't want to lose that tan. So you can come down a little bit. And that'll kick in a little bit of dimension. But we want to leave that gap in that lighter color. All right, let me show you how this is starting to look. Zoom out. All right, everybody's seen now how I'm getting that really pretty definition with that brown and that lighter color in between. Absolutely beautiful, guys. And you see now how we are getting a specific definition now on our tiger coming out with the greenery now that's going to be around it. And I've got just a little bit of orange spot that I hear, so I'm going to go ahead and cover that. Questions, comments? Oh, haven't even gotten to that point, Terry, to give him a name. Maybe I'll have to post him and we'll take a vote. Zoom in. knew somebody was going to say Tony. Okay. Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay, everybody's seeing now how we're starting to get that pop. And when I get to his eyes, of course, I will make them very intense. I'll have to think about what I'm going to do with that. Okay. So let me do a little bit of cleanup. So one of the things I'm going to do now is I'm going to start to identify where our water is coming in. And as you guys remember from last time, I went ahead and added more lines to make these swirls in the water. So we want to make the whole thing exudes power. No, I'm not going to name her Ida. We like to try and keep things positive in here in the room. So I've got a Prismacolor, I believe this is a Prismacolor 103. Zoom in. I'm sorry, I'm down to a stub on here, so not exactly sure. So I'm going to start bringing in now some of my color. And this is where I just want to start to define where we've got tiger and where we've got this water. And what I want you to notice is I'm starting out with a pretty hefty blue. So that means, you know, I like to tint with my lightest color first. So with this being as hefty of a blue as I'm bringing in, that's going to tell you right away that my blues are going to be very robust. And as I've mentioned before, a lot of times I will have no hesitation in popping over to another area to just start defining what's what. Now, what we particularly too is we've got this blue now coming around, excuse me, where the leg definitely is in play, but it's submerged. So in order to do that, we've got to bring up some of the blue, zoom in, zoom in. We've got to bring up some of the blue in between some of this fur here. And that's going to imply that the whole thing is underwater. Yeah, exactly. That's basically what I'm doing, Wanda. And guys, don't be afraid to do that. That if you've colored something and you're submerging it, for example, take your color and go over the whole thing very lightly. So as you can see, I'm going over this leg lightly with the blue. You can see the orange that I've got there before, and that is dulling out the entire image. Yeah, I do like my short, stumpy pencils. Ah! Look at that! It just fell out. Oh my. Oh, That's a leaf. Yeah, and I knew that from earlier, and I meant to be careful with it. My bad. All right, so let's go ahead and get that leaf colored in before I change it again. And this is my Brett Funner Raw Sienna YK9. And this is my Radiant Yellow in Brett Funner as well. Now, we've got a lot. Exactly, that the blue doesn't want to come off, but I can go over it with the green. Yep, yep, yep. I'm actually going to pull a little red into this leaf because I've got a lot of orange and brown. So I've got my crimson red, which is Prismacolor 924. And in that case, I'm assuming that this leaf is tumbled off, and we're going to go ahead and make it with the dead colors. But what I'm going to do though is add a little bit of green in there. So this is my Shuttle Art Grass Green number 144. And we can go ahead and bring that up now. And then what I'm going to do is take some shading green here. So this will be a darker green yet for me. And this is the Verdant Green, V-E-R-D-A-N-T, Brett Funner. And look how beautiful that looks. All right, zoom out, zoom out. Okay. So now we can go in and pencil in our blue. Zoom in. Oh man, this is such a stub, I'll tell you. And I want you to remember that this is the area that I hand drew in my additional water. Okay. Now at this point I can decide either to go with a darker blue yet, or good night Pearly, good night Pearly, good night, good night, good night Pearly. I'm going to go ahead with a lighter blue. And what that's going to do, this is a Prismacolor Powder Blue 1087. Isn't that beautiful? Zoom out. So this Prismacolor, which is a soft pencil onto itself, is giving us a really, really nice soft blend in with this water. And that's exactly what I wanted. Now, as you can see, I'm coloring up and down instead of with the darker blue. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. And that's because I want to deliberately blend in that darker blue in the up and down position to give me more of a swishy look, if that makes sense. So I really wanted to give that a soft, watery, coloring look. And I want you to remember that when you're blending, that if you change direction like that, you definitely can change the way you blend. Zoom out. Everybody see how I'm getting that look? Questions? How beautiful is that? All right, zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Now, if you're going to do something like this, you need to make sure that you have a softer pencil, like a Star Joy, which is very soft, Prismacolor, which is very soft, and you can get a really, really nice effect. And I want you to notice too how I shadowed underneath the chin. So that's going to be in this area right in here. Any questions, comments? Okay, now I'm going to take my white pencil and blend in my leaf a little better. Get that nice soft look. There we go. Zoom out. Okay. Now, on our tiger over here, remember how I went through and put a little bit of the blue? I used a bluish gray instead of a black. Because I wanted to suggest that that leg was underwater. Now, I don't want you to be afraid of putting down colors and then going over them again with another color. That's exactly what I did here. So I have a Color Burst Brett Phoner K3. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. And I'm going to go ahead and define these stripes. And then I'm going to go back with my Radiant Yellow, which is my Brett Phoner Y38. And we'll go ahead and get that orange, just a little more orange in here. And I'm going to blend that with my finger. And this is where now you are implying that the leg is underwater. So after you blend in your orange and your gray, now we're going to go ahead and put that blue in, zoom out, and I'm going to put the blue right over what I just colored. Now, if you're not used to doing this, it's going to kill you because you think you might be ruining your piece. Trust me, you're not. Da, da. All right, there we go. If you're not used to doing something like this, you're going to look at it and you're going to go, ah. Oh, hold on, I got to move something. There we go. And then I'm going to take my finger, because I don't want to use my blending pencil because that would be way, way, way too harsh for this. And we're going to smush that together. Anybody have any questions or comments? So right now it looks like that water is right up to the head of that tiger, doesn't it? Questions, comments? Yes, no, maybe? And I'm going to add a little bit more blue. Right underneath the chin. Because we want that shadow there, don't we? Now, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this darker blue by the leg, because it makes it look like the top of the water. So I'm going to make that more even. Everybody see why I did that? I had a darker line right underneath. Tanya, if it's a girl. Zoom out. Woo! Let me brush my desk, excuse me. Everybody see now how we're getting this effect. And notice that I'm putting in my softer dark blue on all my lines here that the artist had put in. Well, the artist and myself. on, gotta move something again. Well, hello, Jojo. Hold on, little adjustment here. Jojo, where you been all this time? Okay. So I'm working my way up the side here, and I'm going to go ahead and work up on these swirls. Now, see how we're starting to get this a little bit more agitation in the water? Jojo, were you having problems getting into the broadcast? Now, I don't want you to be afraid to add your darker lines like this. Again, this is a very soft pencil. You've been adjusting to a new schedule. And you've had your grandson. Okay. Okay. Hello, Cindy. Cindy, I haven't seen you in ages. Cindy Lott, good to see you. Okay, let's get some shading in here. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. I don't know if this blue on my desk is part of the design or... Yes. Oh, Jojo says my 10 a.m. sneaks up on me now. So I put your broadcast in my calendar with an alarm. There you go. Yeah, Jojo's an Aussie, so it's 10 a.m. in the morning when we start. Hi, Amy. So now I want you to watch how I'm coloring with my lighter blue. In circles, because I want to blend in and soften up that darker blue. So this is my Prismacolor Powder Blue 1087, as I mentioned. So the technique that I'm showing you here is if you have two soft pencils, you can add a really nice effect, and in this case it's our water. Isn't that beautiful? It's almost like this stuff is being finger painted on, and it's almost like I've used pastels or gelatos. And I hope that you can see on camera how pretty this looks that I'm seeing in person. Now, as I get to these more defined swirls, I'm going to go ahead and color in the same direction. So this is where I'm not going to do my swirls anymore. Now I'm going to go ahead and follow my dark outlines. You see how I'm making that little smiley face right there? Big difference in what I was just doing a few minutes ago. Wanda says, you know, the camera adds 10 pounds. That tiger needs to go on a diet. Hey, if you want to go ahead and tell them, knock yourself out, Wanda. Okay, everybody see, it's important that you see this. I don't want to work against the grain of my darker blue now. Be very, very sure that you see that. And all that means that I'm doing now is I'm just running parallel to my darker lines. Questions, comments? Zoom out. Oh man, isn't that beautiful? Zoom out. Okay. Zoom in. Notice on this swirl that I'm going in a circular direction, and you don't want to color too much so that you lose your individual swirls. And guys, when you're coloring something like this, use your judgment as to what you want to emphasize and what you don't. So if you decide that something is too swirly, you can go ahead and diminish it with your light blue. Now, just in case some of you haven't thought about this, zoom out. This would be a great piece to cut out and put the paper behind it like I did on the sawmill and the other examples. that planter that I did on the patio. Okay, now I'm just going through and adjusting my blues, my darks, and my lights. Oh, beautiful. Okay. Now, we've got this powerful face in this water, but we've lost a little bit of the definition. I knew we would. This is why I didn't do this earlier, because I wanted to make a point. So we're looking good. Nothing wrong with this, but we can do better. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Sharpie marker, zoom in, zoom in, and on these areas where we've got the tips here of the fur, we're going to dot in a little bit of definition. Now, I want you to notice that I'm varying the way that I'm adding that black on the tips. I'm not just adding a dot and that's it. I'm running the black up the fur a little bit. Oh, there you go. Wanda says, why y'all want to give me the hard jobs? And JoJo says, because it was your observation. Hooray! Zoom out. Zoom out. Wow. What do you think? Wanda says I was a tiger whisperer in another life. Ha! Zoom in. There you go. Zoom out. And I'm not even done with the coloring on that face yet. So let me show you the side by side. And again, what did I tell you? I didn't copy this. I'm not out to copy it. I'm out to be inspired by it. The main thing I wanted to show you was how to make the legs look soft in the water. It now looks like just the face is forward. And I wanted to show you the swirling on the water. I'm not done on this either. I'm going to soften this up. Okay, let me continue on a couple more things and then I'll pop over to a different piece. And if you came in late, this is from PLANTIMALS, PLANTIMALS by Radana, Planka. Okay. So I'm going to start in just defining a few of the leaves up at the top here and start getting this to a point where we can clearly see everything. Zoom in. Hello, Ashley. Zoom in. So water-based marker, oh hoo hoo. And notice that I'm going over a couple of areas a couple of times so that we get our different colors. So on this part here, I'm just using this now to define a few of my greenery leaves. And again, guys, same idea here is I went through and the image didn't go all the way to the edge of the page. So I went ahead and added that in myself. Oops. And I want you to see, oh, Rhonda says, well, ILene, I just got all my metallic out now that I have an idea how to use them. Excellent. So what you're telling me is you're going to use your metallic with your regular pencils, right? That you don't have to just do metallic areas with it. All right. Well, that's why you watch me, sweetie. Yeehaw. All right. And remember, two things. When I'm using markers, you can still go ahead and use your pencils if you don't have markers. And the second thing is, if you do use markers, remember that you can go back over them with pencil, which I will be doing, to get your shading in. Now, I'm just going to do these few leaves because I want to define for you now how this outline is going to start to look. And as soon as I pull out, you will absolutely be able to see the impact. And again, remember, I finished taking all of these out to the very edge. Not very hard at all with my pen. Okay, I think I got it. Zoom out. Zoom out. Look how fabulous that looks. Now, these little leaves here, okay, I see what they're doing. zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. I'm just going to do the 2 front leaves. Because I want you to see how this is going to look. Now, remember, we want this whole piece to be pretty bold, right? So that means that you don't want wimpy leaves in the background. You want your leaves to be very colorful. And rich looking. And I don't want you to be afraid of using these bolder colors when you're coloring. Now, this is a dark slate gray. This is a Zenicolor 022. And actually, I lied. I'm going to do a little bit more here. And I want you to see now how these colors are going to build on each other. Da, da, da. Okay, now, with that slate gray, I'm now going to use a Prismacolor PC 913. And I want you to notice how beautifully that's blending with that darker color. Zoom in. Really want you to see that. Now, when you blend colors like this, you've got to be careful that you don't go from one extreme to the other, because if you do and then try to blend it, you're going to have that line, right? But look how, using this Prismacolor, I'm able to pull up this darker color into the leaf and give that shading. Isn't that beautiful? sometimes I see some of you complaining about how soft your pencils are. Guys, that's what you want in some of these instances, so you can get this blending like this. Isn't that beautiful? And notice how I'm pushing, see how I'm pushing that darker color into the lighter green. Here, I'll do it some more right here. So I'm laying down my color, and then I'm going back where my darker color is, and I'm literally pushing it and smearing it into my lighter green. Everybody see that? Yes, no? And remember, there may be some instances other than leaves where you want to do that. This is why I'm showing you this method, and this is why I want you to learn it. This is what you do with soft pencils, guys. And this is how you get that softness on your piece and professionalism. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, now. Oh wait, there's more. And then I promise I'll move on. Now, remember that red in the leaf that I colored below in the water? Well, we're going to take our lipstick red, and this is the Brett Funner. And I'm going to come in at the bottom of my leaf. And then I'm going to come back, I'm going to get that red right there. And then I'm going to come back with a, not that one, a strong pink, which is my Color. .090, it's called Spinel, S-P-I-N-E-L, Spinel Red. and basically do the same thing. Only this time I'm making it's my top color now that's leading the way. Now, I have absolutely no idea under the sun if there's a plant that looks like this. But at least in the coloring world, there is now. Oh, that's funny. There you go. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. Check that out, guys. Isn't that pretty? Zoom out. And the reason that I did that, notice how that pinkish red up here captures this pinkish red down here. And we have a cohesiveness in the page. All right, I'm going to change colorings. Questions, comments? Are you learning something? And again, I'll be blending in this water a lot more than it is now. As long as I'm giving you ideas for your coloring, I am a happy camper. Okay. Zoom out. So I've been working on this picture. Hanna Karlzon Spirit Animals. And I've been starting to working on the bottom here. Now I'm going to go back to the fish. And the whole idea of this piece was to do the light dark and to show you how to do that. And I added in these little swirls, more stars and more dots, so I filled that in more. And you can see that I've got darker and lighter plants. So I'm going to work on the fish. We have some oranges in the bottom here. I've already picked up the greens and the purples up at the top. But now we need to do a little bit with that orange. So let me go ahead and show you how I'm going to do that. Zoom in. So I've got my radiant yellow again. And I'm going to go ahead and tint the bottom of my fish in this orange. And I'm also going to bring some of that orange up as part of the skin pattern. And then we'll go ahead and put this together so of course we can match our sections. Whee! Okay. Okay. Now again, I didn't want you to go ahead and just make a straight line across. Oops, hold on, gotta check something. Da, da, da. So I've got my two sections matching. Oh, Kathy, good night. Good night, good night, good night. Now there's obviously a method to my madness. And then this is where I'm going to start bringing up my orange towards the top of the fish, because what I'm planning on doing is coloring in the tail in this complete orange. All right, let me turn this. Okay, let's take a look at the whole thing now so you can get a perspective on this. Zoom out. Jojo, are you leaving or are you just saying goodnight to Kathy? Isn't that pretty? Now, I don't want you to get weird with your colors, but I want you to see that you can do some really nice things by not being afraid to experiment. Saying goodnight to Kathy. Okay, Jojo, good. Yeah, I'm on for 30 more minutes and then that'll be it. Now again, these are my light pencil tint in first layer colors, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick what Brett Funner calls a mirage gray. I'm sorry, I didn't show that for very long. Mirage gray. And I'm going to start playing into fish being a silverish blue color. Zoom in. Red velvet cookies filled with white chocolate, did I see? Oh. Oh. So now I'm going to work in my Mirage Gray. Zoom in. Hey guys, I'll tell you, if you're looking for good sweets, I was telling you this the other time, is Sam's has their peanut brittle in. Oh my gosh, good stuff. Zoom out. Oh, Rhonda, you said you already asked your daughter to pick some up? Yeah, at least get 2 things of it. Zoom out. Old-fashioned hand dip made with honey. Oh my gosh, this stuff is the best. Highly recommended. And it breaks very easily. It's not tough at all. Zoom in. Now, as soon as I get this back section finished with the gray, you'll see how pretty this is going to start to look. All right, let's take a look at this puppy now. Zoom out. You see how that's starting to take shape, guys? Now, the neat thing is too, is that everything that we're coloring, oh yeah, Wanda says Sam's has good stuff. I used to buy peanut brittle there. Yeah, that's where this is from. It's wonderful. So what we've established to the audience now is that everything from this line and below is underneath water. And by using the darker color here and the darker colors above, both on the dress, on the top and the bottom, we can now go ahead and use brighter colors down here, because you've already established in the viewer's mind what's going on with this. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So now what I'm going to do is take a nice blue, and that's not it. Remember guys, when you color, you can lead your audience to believe what you want them to believe. And that's your influence to create when you color. That's the point that I'm trying to make, that I'm making here. Not trying to make, making. And that's why you need to think through when you color. Okay, now I'm going to take my dazzling blue, again happens to be a Brett Funner, and I'm going to work my blue down here. Now, blue and gray go together beautifully. Zoom in. A lot of people are used to seeing it in military uniforms, at least here in the US. And so anytime that you want to combine that together, you basically have a license to do that. Now, I want you to notice that as I'm doing this, I'm getting lighter and lighter with my blue as I get towards my gray, because eventually I want to be able to blend that in. So, more vivid blue at the top, lighter and lighter as I go down. So, Jojo, what are the military colors in Australia? again, guys, I want you to keep in mind that you have a lot of power to influence your audience as to what you want them to see. That's why I'm making it a point to make that point. Okay. Jojo, did you hear my question earlier? What are your standard military colors in Australia? Jojo says mostly khaki with some red, okay, or maroon and gold accents. Cool. Yeah, our military, for example, when our officers are getting dressed for formal events, they'll say like dress blues. Navy and Air Force are dark blue and white. Okay. Now, this is going to look really wonky, but I'm making a point here. Okay. Zoom out. All right, you see how I'm starting to work my colors here? On the back, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a very dark gray to black. We can do a black. Carefully. I have a Faber-Castell Payne's Gray. It's going to be too light. I've got a color from Brett Funner called 9 Iron. Zoom in. Now, do you remember when we were coloring hair? And I said if you want to make hair look really cool, you got to have blue and black in it, not just black. So I want you to see now what's happening as I'm putting this black in between my triangles. And I'm also carrying that black a little ways down so we can get some dimension on this layer that's on the back. Everybody see that? Oh, pretty. So I'm doing this all on one side because I want you to catch it. Now, I want you to see the difference. Do you see the difference now between these V's here that I'm coloring with the black and these that don't have it? Zoom out. Isn't that beautiful, guys? And what it's starting to look like now is that these little, I don't know what you want to call them, scales, were plopped on top of the fish, right? So I'm coloring in between the V's and I'm bringing the black down around them. And I'm just smoothing out this blue a little bit so that it isn't a distraction when you look at this. And that's what I want you to see. So let's look at it side by side on the side that I haven't done yet. And you can see how this is starting to look. It looks like these panels here were plopped on top. And that's the look that I wanted. Now obviously I have to blend my transitions between the orange, the silver, and the blue. But again, I'm just laying down my base colors so that I can come back and do my actual tinting, shading, whatever you want to call it. Okay, we're getting pretty close. questions, comments? Actually, I still have, hold on, got 10 more minutes. Let's make use of it. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. When you put black and blue together, it's absolutely fabulous. And I specifically wanted to show you how to darken in between these, whatever they're called. To give you the look that you want. Now again, be absolutely sure when you're coloring that when you darken in here that you get lighter and lighter as you come out, because we've got this silver gray that we're contending with. And guys, these are all the little extras that I want you to think about when you're coloring. I don't want you just to be slapping colors down on your pages. Now, I'm going to take my blue here because her skirt is covering those fin things. And I'm going to go ahead and just extend my blue down here below it. That blue next to that purple is going to look fabulous. And notice to start out here, I'm just going ahead and putting in my light blue. But we can assume, based on the pattern that I've been coloring earlier, that we would have had dark blue coming down here a little bit. Around the fins. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. Details, guys, details. I promise you that when you're coloring a piece and you add something like this, that's going to make your piece stand out heads above everybody else. Zoom out. And again, I'm roughing in my colors. Now we've got some of this green coming down here, so we don't want to disturb that. Zoom in. So I'm going to go ahead and work this blue around this green that I brought down. Because remember, that green that I brought down was like it was the roots of these plants that are sitting on top. Right? Now, at this point, we can decide. Notice that my blue was always underneath here, my little flags. I don't know what to call them, scales, flags, whatever. So since I don't have my scales and my flags over here, I'm going to go ahead and put in my gray. All right. See the difference that that's making? And then real quick, I'm going to put in my gray here. And guys, by the way, and I meant to say something at the beginning of the broadcast, please share this on your timeline. There are a lot of people out there that are lonely and by themselves and depressed, and they may enjoy just watching the coloring and listening to our chatting. So please share this to your timeline. It takes 2 seconds. Okay, cool. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. And look at the difference between where I put a little black and I don't have the black on this side. Yowza. Big difference, guys. Big difference. Okay, I think I'm done. Any questions or comments before I go? I'm so glad you guys could join us tonight. Welcome to all the people who didn't drop in the room but are watching, our lurkers. I hope you had fun. And I hope you had fun looking at our tiger too. Coming out beautifully. Very happy with it. Okay guys, this is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Guys, joyous, joyous coloring. I hope you learned something. Hope you had fun. So glad our Aussie friends could make it. Love you guys. Be kind to each other like you always are. And I will see you tomorrow night. Same time, same place. Take care, guys. Love ya. Bye.